TVF's John, Yeh Meri family. I hope I say that. Meri, I'm not sure how you say it. But it returns with a new season and a new family. And I'm just going to read a little bit about this on the IndianExpress.com. And I'll tell you something, if I pronounce anything wrong, I apologise, because there's a lot of content in here. And John and I have not seen Yeh Meri family yet, but I thought it was interesting that a new season is coming, which means we've got to get our skates on and catch up with this in season 1, John. But season 2 of Yeh Meri family features Juhi Parmar, a popular face on Indian television, and Rajesh Kumar, known for his role as Rajesh in Sarabhai versus Sarabhai. Child actors Heto Gada and Angad will essay the role of their children. Look at the high res on that. Wow, I feel like I'm in there. I feel like I'm on that sofa with those guys in the tank top. Yeah, I mean, John,
I want to see you wearing a tank top at one point, a sleeveless tank top.
Tell you something, I might do that in the winter. I'll do that. I'll do that. Listen, I'll do that, and I'll get specs like that, Natasha.
I bought a gilet. I put it on once. I don't know if it's for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd feel like Chandler Bing in that kind of gear.
I put it on with light green 80s shorts last night, and it wasn't a good look.
John, this is I'm assuming this series is set in the 90s, because it does say here the series gave us a strong dose of the 90s nostalgia when it was released in 2018. It's so under the radar for us guys over here. The story of the series was centred around a middle class family. Now the series is returning with a new season and new faces, as the makers have decided to narrate the story of another middle class family while keeping its USP of 90s nostalgia intact. Brave move, bold move, but we don't know what happened in the first series. Did everybody die or something? I don't know. Or maybe they just a happy ending, they didn't want to ruin that, I'm not sure. But John, coming back, season 2 of Yeh Meri family features Juhi Parmar, a popular face on Indian television, and Rajesh Kumar, known for his role as Rajesh in Sarabhai versus Sarabhai. I've already said all this. Child actors Heto Gada and Angad will essay the role of the children in the series, which will premiere on Amazon Mini TV. Not sure what that is, but I'm pretty sure it'll be on Prime for us, hopefully. The first poster of the series shows Juhi doting on her 2 children. The small things in the poster give away minute details about the show. The calendar on the wall says 1994 December, hinting that the show is set in the year
1994.
And old radio is placed on the side table, and the costumes of the actors takes us back to the 90s.
I just started school.
I think that looks more like the 70s to me, John, with that tank top. I remember David Jason wearing that in Open All Hours.
I just started school in December 1994. I was about 3 months into school. What an amazing year.
And as per the official description, Yeh Meri family 2 has Juhi Parmar portraying the character of Narji Awashthi. I don't know if that's it, but it's an amalgamation of a strict yet overly caring mother whose world revolves around her children and family. And on the other hand, we have Rajesh Kumar essaying the role of Sanjay Ashwathi. I hope I'm saying that right. I struggle with certain words.
Awashthi. I'm going to say Awashthi.
This is like your man in Circuit class as well, that main boy. I just couldn't say his name right. Azish. I hope I said that. The easy breezy father who happily drives around his 2-wheeler and always returns home with a treat for the kids. Hetel Ganda will see as Ratika, a 15-year-old with first world problems as a teenager. I've seen that before, Family Man, John. And also an elder sister to Rishi, who is played by Angad. And there is a video there, John. We can't obviously clip it because we're live. But Parmar, who's making her debut in the OTT space with Yeh Meri family 2, is excited to be part of the show. She said in a statement, it is a beautiful, light-hearted story, and I won, which I didn't think twice when it was narrated to me for the first time. I love being a part of the content that is relatable and makes one's heart smile, and this is such a story. I'm looking forward to my audience's reaction to seeing me in a new avatar, a completely new medium, as I continue to experiment with content that is progressive and well made. Rajesh Kumar could connect to the story of the show instantly. He said, I was elated when I first got the call for the new season of TVF's Yeh Meri family. A wave of nostalgia swept over me when I finished reading the script. I was in my teens during the 90s and I could relate to all the highlights in the story perfectly. I strongly believe that the audience will appreciate the hard work and the relatable narrative that we ourselves are excited to watch with our families. John, that gives good confidence for us unknowns going into something like this in terms of the content and how authentic it is as well. If you're getting, these chaps who are obviously grew up in the 90s India, know exactly what it was like, and to see a wave of nostalgia swept over me when I was finished reading the script. So they identify with obviously the content within their scripts as well, John. I think that's fantastic. Now, I know we've not watched obviously Yeh Meri Family Season 1 yet, but it is on our list. But again, TVF have got so much content that we are trying to catch up on, and certainly that is one that we will catch up with. Kadalan?
Yeah, I'm just going down a rabbit hole here, Stephen, with Prabhudeva. It says 1994, Kadalan. 1994, Prabhudeva was your main man, and it did feature that song, Mukabala.
Music composed by A.R. Rahman. Yeah.
Yes, A.R. Rahman, Mukabala, I think it's Mukabala, Mukabala.
You get something John. You really have
actually, I tell you right now, man, I was listening to that song when I was doing weight training.
Yeah.
I had that song in my AirPods when I was doing fucking chest presses and shit like that. That was getting me on, man.
So there you are.
It's just something about it. Something about the fucking singing. I think the singer's actually passed away now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's neither here nor there. It's 1990s. I'm thinking 1990s India. Prabhudeva, absolute superstar. What a guy. Fucking writer, director, dancer, actor, everything. Steve, not seen this, the original show, but it is TVF again. And we know that with TVF you're going to get a sort of standard that is high calibre.
Yeah.
In terms of writing, in terms of technical work, in terms of the casting. Not one show we have watched from this studio that came from a YouTube channel has been miscast. Every single fucking show, the strength by far has been the casting. All the characters are perfect. You think of Punchayat, Chandan Roy, his Vikas, the Prahlad, the Pradhan, Rinky.
Yeah.
Blank on his name. Abhishek, Jitendra Kumar. You go into Quota Factory, you're thinking the likes of... I'm taking big chances here, trying to remember these names. Vartika, Minal, Meena, Vaibhav,
yeah.
And the other guy, I always forget his fucking name. Damn it.
Yeah,
the character,
Uday.
Yeah. All brilliantly cast. You go into fucking the aforementioned aspirants, and you've got the likes of Guri, Abhilash, SK.
John,
all brilliantly cast.
Yeah.
And now pictures,
and the music
all brilliantly cast.
The music is always picked perfectly. It's so much so, John, I've got this favourites on my Spotify.
Oh, I mean,
Punchayat
is
from Quota Factory as
really
well.
Is.
Just listening to it throughout the day when I'm working. Fantastic, yeah. That was Rinky's theme, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of sort of like party theme as well when they got together and had a little picnic drinking sessions.
That's right,
they played that.
Yeah.
I'm happy, something like that.
Yeah,
just brilliant. Also the theme tune.
One of the best theme tunes I've ever heard.
We were going to react to that.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
We loved it that much, man. And I says I'd learn it on the guitar, and I will learn it on the guitar. Watch someone playing it, and it was great.
John, you learn it, and we'll film it, and then we can put it on the channel.
Needless to say, the point I'm getting at is with this studio, they know how to cast, they know how to write. We've not seen this. It is about 5 years old now.
Yeah.
But if we do go back and watch it, all of the aforementioned things will be on point. The casting, the technical, the music, the writing, because they've came from a source of experience. The people involved, by all accounts, in TVF sound as fuck people, really salt of the earth, brilliant guys and gals, if you like. And they've came from different walks of life.
Yeah.
And they can connect with the stories. And like good music and good bands coming up when they're young and they're at it, and they connect with social issues and they've lived and breathed it, you can then project that onto the world. And it's organic, it's beautiful, it flows naturally. That's why Oasis were doing their shit, Blur were doing their shit in the 90s. The Smiths in the 80s, singing about societal issues in Britain. You go back to the Beatles, the Stones, Elvis, all these fucking people, Bob Dylan. It's the same with great TV and great movies. If you have got people who are well up for it, young, or maybe not so young, but they've lived these things, they've got a connection to it, Stephen, as you did say. They've lived and breathed that era, the stories. That's why it feels so potent. It feels well done.
I think that's one of the things they're famous for doing is tapping into society, and whether that be man, woman, or child. They experience it themselves. I always say, John, that a lot of successful writers and actors have said, write what you know, and I think that's what TVF do really good. They're going into these things, tackling these real life issues. You talk about Panchayat, John. Some of the best episodes were about an office chair, or a tree, or 2 beers, or whatever. It
it was a monitor.
Yeah. I mean, that was fantastic stuff, wasn't it?
The slogan.
Yeah.
Two children are perfect, but more piles, something along those lines. Just simplistic little things, but by all accounts, people who've came from a similar village lifestyle, they can connect with that simplicity because it's on the money. The characters, they can see these characters and people they lived and breathed with, and maybe their life, day-to-day life in the past or present. It goes back to that, Stephen. The studio is well in touch with Indian society. They know how to create great content that resonates. And Stephen, it doesn't just resonate with people from India, because we're not from India. We're from fucking Scotland, which is a fucking light year away from India in every way. In terms of culture, I must stress it's not as good as India.
John, but it's relatable. The agricultural side of Panchayat we can connect with. Obviously, these sort of issues are worldwide. They're universal, aren't they? And I think that's what TVF understand, that can go out to a broader audience, not just an Indian audience, and that's why they tap into the Indian education system and quota factoring aspirants as well, because they know that people in India, particularly students, have lived and breathed those experiences. They know exactly what these characters are going through when they watch these episodes. And some of the community that say they can't watch Quota Factory
PTSD,
because it does remind them of a really bad time, in their lives and stuff like that. And I get that, but I think that's a sort of backhanded compliment to TVF nailing the sort of authenticity.
It's educational for us as well, Steve.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I've always had a real connection with Indian culture, the food. I've always, through the Beatles, loved the music, the instruments, instrumental. I can't even fucking speak. Let's try that again. Rewind. The instrumental aspects of Indian music.
David.
Can I get a rewind? The drums, in particular, there's just something about the drums. No other culture. Maybe there's cultures in parts of Africa who have got similar sort of things with the drums, but they've got that vibe. They vibrate different to like the fucking drums we've got. I don't know, but there's just something about the drums, and you hear it in the likes of Within You, Without You with the Beatles. Also Brian Jones, that's the name. George Harrison, guys like that in the 60s, bringing that culture over and infusing it with British music at the time, the sitars and stuff. So we've always had a real connection with it. This is educational for people like us. We can go in and watch this, and we're learning more and more and more. And again, I don't want to keep going on about it, but I've got a fucking ancestral link to the country, so I want to learn about the country, because I've actually got I could potentially have living fucking relatives in India right now. And
I think through Yeh Meri family, John, I'm saying this, I'm kind of saying this a shot in the dark, but I think we'll learn even more about, I think, is this middle class families in India? I'm not sure. I think some people have mentioned this on the community.
But what is middle class? And I mean, as again, I'll go back to Praveen, my good friend. He's supposedly middle class, but I think he had a fucking maid or something like that in his house. So I've got to tell you, middle class over here, we don't have maids.
No.
Working class, we certainly don't have maids. Upper class, we've got maids.
Yeah.
So what is middle class in India? I don't fucking know. Yeah. Is it just a regular sort of old family in a reasonable sized house with professionals working?
Well, once we watch that, we'll know. We'll get a better idea, won't we? But you're right, John. I think
it's not class, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think TVF are, in terms of looking sort of from the inside out, I think I think they've been very smart in what they've been doing as well in terms of an international audience. That they can teach us things. They can teach us the sort of class system, the society ills, and all that kind of thing. And I think they're doing it in a very... I mean, they've got to obviously cater for their home audience. They can't.
Yeah.
They don't want to producing content that it's going to patronise, you know, an Indian audience. I don't know what I said. Patronise.
You've been drinking as well,
yeah.
Stephen.
It's not cider. It's just apple juice.
You haven't drinking beer today.
Yeah, I don't know what I said there.
I think you said patronise.
Patronise. I said patronise.
Yeah,
was a
Stephen,
kind of Irish twang. Patronise.
The amount of times I say a word and I think I fucked up, and then I go back and watch
It just sounded weird.
But there's times where I feel I'm having a stroke, or I've like stuttered, and then I get back and I'm like, I didn't stutter at all. And
John,
it really affects you.
Before I move on to
You're like, I just fucking stuttered.
that's why I'm
I
glad
never
you're
stutter.
here. See, if I did that on a live show myself, I would probably just slide under the desk and then pull the cables.
Imagine starting a live show after having a day where you dry mouth and you were tripping over words constantly, and then you're like, just don't make a mistake at the start of this show, you'll be fine, you'll glide into it, and the very first thing you do is, instead of saying welcome on in, you say welcome in on. Can you imagine the fucking mental turmoil? A solo live show and you start with welcome in on after a day of tripping over every single word and thinking, I actually think I've got a fucking neurological condition affecting me here.
Do you know what it is,
but
John?
I regained my confidence and I was fucking phone after it.
You've got to let it go, haven't you? And you've just got to move on. Sometimes when the other person's there, they can move on for you.
Oh, Stephen, some of the best things that have happened on our live streams have involved me going to a wide shot back when we used 2 cameras and completely fucking up and you howling in the background.
Elton John.
And me going to a wide shot and just letting you take over.
Yeah, that was great.
Some of the best
fantastic
things.
And I always remember, obviously, the Taika Waititi one. You couldn't say Taika.
Yeah, that was a solo show as well, yeah.
Taika
Waititi.
Yeah.
Taika.
I think that's just,
He's one of my favourite directors.
I was watching that one.
Fuck?
I was thinking, I can't even pull the plug for him. I just can't. It's just one of those things.
The best one was Pin Phone Ray.
Yeah, we never saw the light of day.
No,
I saw it live, John.
That
was enough. I mean, I was in tears after that one.
I've only ever seen one other person do that, and it was that girl you showed me in TikTok, where she couldn't say spoons. I think she was calling it a fork, or not a spork.
Yeah.
Then a foon.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. There's actually something that happens with your brain where simple little words, you just can't pronounce them. You mix them up, and you have to just break the cycle.
John, SK Sir Key Class.
SK Sucky Class, that was me, yeah.
Yeah, and I just one of those things. Once it's locked in the brain, that's it. And it was the same. I mean, time and time again, it's happened to us, you know. And I think Hard Night's Day was another one.
Hard Night's Day, I just moved on.
And you did, John. I mean, that would have just killed me. I don't think I'd be sitting here today if that was me. I would have relived that too much.
You know what makes me feel better, Stephen, when I listen to seasoned fucking presenters, DJs, whatever you want to call them, on Radio 1. And they're tripping over words at times. I'm like, these people are getting paid £500,000 a year to speak in front of speak into the ears of millions of people every day. On the BBC.
Yeah.
If they're fucking up, then some shit-kicking fucking non-entity from Glasgow can get away with fucking up. So I just let that. And then Gary Neville saying it as well back in the day. He was told by a well-known ex-rugby player who moved into punditry, John, if you make a mistake, move on.
That's it. You've just got to move on and let it go. But John, VS
patronise.
I was laughing earlier on because I know VS from obviously the live chats that I've been doing as well, and I appreciate you coming in. VS.
Yeah.
You're going to laugh at us, John. I was actually calling you Versus. I was calling VS Versus because that's how we say Versus VS over here. And I apologise if I'm way off. VS.
Don't worry, India isn't a Pakistan fan as well. No, that's what I'm saying, mate. Look, don't take me the way here. I never says I wasn't a fan of Pakistan. I says my Indian friend from Hyderabad, Praveen, was not a fan.
Okay.
Le Pakistan, je vois, c'est lundi.
Wow.
So there you go. You have Pakistan in French now.
John,
he wasn't a fan of Pakistan. He had some interesting views on Pakistan. I am ambivalent towards Pakistan. Just making that clear.
John, VS also says, and this is one of the things I wanted to ask you. You're probably best updating on this one. He says, how did you fellas find TVF pictures? In terms of a show,
brilliant,
amazing.
V5 or Z5?
Z5.
Horrendous.
Try to get it out.
Horrendous, and it's not over yet.
It's not
over yet. I captured episode 5 3 days ago.
Yeah.
I went away, living my life, came back thinking it's captured. And it did capture. It captured the whole episode, the finale of season 1 captured, but it minimised it after 5 minutes. So I've got 5 minutes of a full screen, and then I've got 45 minutes of a tiny little screen. So that was a fucking nightmare. I then went and captured it again today to edit it for tomorrow, funnily enough. It captured up to 5 minutes again. Actually, the title screen, the theme tune kicked in, then it buffered. I came back, it buffered for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I then captured it again, and it buffered twice. And then on the second attempt to try to get it to play after buffering, there was no audio. I'm like, I'm fucking give up. And now I go in to do it, I can't even get the video to load.
Yeah.
It's a fucking nightmare. Z5 are horrific.
It'll be out when it's
horrific.
out. It's one of those ones, John. We can't guarantee that these are going to go out in sequence because it's not in our hands. It's not in our hands.
Please just keep it on YouTube. TVF,
I think as well, John,
please keep it on YouTube.
In terms of Z5 as well, I know they've got a premium option, but I think you're right. You mentioned it earlier, John. I don't think it makes a difference. I think it's our servers that are the issue here.
Well, I mean, I looked at the time, Stephen. It was 5:30. I thought maybe that's prime time in India, and they're just overloading the servers, and I can't get into it. They're just saying what's a Scottish gimp doing, try to access our content.
Why is he on? Yeah. So I sometimes find that when I look at the analytics on our website, and it's like some random countries went into the website. And I wonder why that is.
Zimbabwe.
But, yeah.
Namibia.
Yeah, why not? John, VS also says you need to see TVF tripling. Yeah. Again, it's one of those ones that's on our list, along with, I always forget the names.
Hostel Days.
And Permanent Roommates.
Yeah,
so it is on our list. TVF,
we are looking to systematically go through every TVF show because we have got something planned for maybe a Sunday or something.
Yeah,
maybe we can
at
do
the end of the year. Once we've done it all.
2 years if they fucking keep putting it on Z5. And then we'll come up with something where we'll get the community involved and we can... Yeah,
it'll be a TVF hullabaloo extravaganza. Yeah.
And we'll just rate it on the merits of the show, not the streaming services they choose to use.
Yeah, we'll not prejudge it that way.